final project files from Final Cut Pro. First, you need to open up Disk Utility. You can find that by opening the Finder window and then going to Applications and then scrolling down to the Utilities folder and then finding Disk Utility. To open Disk Utility, just double-click it like any other application. When that opens, you'll see you have options at the top. What the option you want for this particular application is New Image. Click New Image, and then you'll get a bunch of options. First off, you want to save your disk image to be descriptive for your project. So I'm going to do this for project 1. So I'm going to name it with my last name, and then R384 project 1. And then I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to name the disk image the same thing. The next thing I'm going to do is change the size of the sparse disk image. It really doesn't matter what size it is, it just needs to be big enough to hold your project. I'm just going to, make mine 10 gigabytes. You may, if you had a really huge project, you may find you need it to be bigger. More than likely for the projects for this class, 10 gigabytes is more than enough. So I'm going to choose custom for my size. I'm going to select gigabytes. I'm going to type in, actually I'll go ahead and do 20 just in case. I'll say 20 gigabytes, say OK. The next thing, you can leave format at macOS Extended Journaled. You want to choose the image format and change that into sparse bundled disk image, which is the very first option. So you're going to select that, and then make sure that you've saved in the appropriate spot. I'm just saving mine to my desktop, and then I'm going to hit Create. And it takes, probably a few seconds depending on the speed of your computer. It may take more or less time. Now I'm done with Disk Utility. I can go ahead and quit it. Either hit Command Q or go to Disk Utility Quit. Now I'm going to go to Final Cut. And I'm going to go to the project library. If the timeline happens to be open, you can switch between the timeline and the project viewer just by pressing the little film reel icon. When I have the project that I want to back up selected, I'm going to right-click, go to Duplicate Project, and then I'm going to make sure that I choose the sparse disk image that I just created, which was Steffel Art 384 Project 1. I can give the new project a name if I want to or not. You want to make sure you select the second option, which is Duplicate Project and Referenced Events. And you can include render files, but you certainly don't have to. When all that's finished, all that's selected, hit OK. And Final Cut will take, a few seconds or a few minutes depending on your project. You can go ahead and hide Final Cut. Once you have 100% finished in your background tasks, you can again hide Final Cut and then go to your sparse disk image. You can double-click it just to make sure that your Final Cut files are in there, but you'll see that you have Final Cut Events, and it has the project that you just created and all the information in it. You also have another folder that Final Cut just created called Final Cut Projects. Delicious Piece has all of that Delicious Piece is the project I just created. It has all of the subfolders inside of it. And then once I've verified that that is correct, I can go ahead and eject it. And then I can go to, and actually it may not eject if Final Cut's still open. Go ahead and close Final Cut. And then I'm going to go to Disk Station, Winter 2012, Steffel Art 384, Project 1 digital files, and then I'm going to make a folder with my name on it in case you haven't made that yet. You can go ahead and do that. I'm going to call mine Steffel Beth. And then inside of that, I should already have my pre-production materials, and then now I'm going to go ahead and eject the disk, and then copy the sparse bundle into that folder. And you'll see the total size of my project was about 725.5 megabytes. And once it finishes copying, that part of the project is done. You also want to make sure that you submit your exported movie file to the design server. Make sure that you have another folder with all of your pre-production materials inside of it. and then also make sure you upload your video to YouTube. And that's it.